Hey, welcome back to That's So Trendy DIY. And if you're new here, think about hitting that subscribe button so you can follow along for more DIY ideas, home decor hauls, and we're going to be doing some bigger projects coming up in the future. All right, but let's get started on today's video. So the Dollar Tree recently came out with these faux leather pieces. I love a good faux leather look or a leather look in my home decor, so I wanted to try some pieces with this. For the first one, I'm just going to be using a vase that I got from the Dollar Tree and the leather pieces. This one is real simple, as you can see. I'm just cutting the pieces down to the size I want because I want to do a two-tone look. And then I'm just trying to make sure it's even as possible, straightening it out and just gluing it on the back side so that I don't have too much of the glue on the piece. So once you get done gluing down the bottom piece, and like I said, I did it right at the where it closed up at. I didn't do it all the way around. I just cleaned up the bottom so that was straight because that was the original part that I cut and it was like a little wavy. So I used their cut edge to go around the top. And then from there, I just lined up the other piece that I was going to use on the top, again using their little straight edge so that I didn't mess it up. And then I just glued again along the back seam and finished that off, pulling kind of too tight but not too tight. Once you're done gluing everything and making sure everything is nice and straight, then you can, if you want, go and cut along the top edge. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to look like a leather piece. So I just cut a little bit excess from the top and tucked it in so that you didn't see where it ended. And you can see when it's done, it gives it a nice, cute look. Let me know what you think. Would you had left the edge up top, or would you had added some more stuff to it to make it a little fancier? I don't know. I like it clean and simple like this, but I want to know what other people think. All right, now let's get started on the next one. For this one, I had started out with a different idea in mind, but then when I saw the leather pieces, I was like, okay, I want to incorporate that into the project. So for this one, I have just those clear serving plates that you can get from the Dollar Tree. And then I had a clock part that I got on clearance a long time ago for just like a couple of dollars. And I'm just going to drill a hole that'll fit the clock part so that it can go through. That makes sense. So once you have it the right size, I went up to a bigger drill bit so that it could fit in nice. Then I just spray painted it with a hammered spray paint that I use for everything. But somehow I did not record that part, but I'll put a picture in of the spray paint that I did use. So now I'm just playing around with the scrap pieces that I had from the original sheets because they are big sheets. And I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. I don't want to cover the whole thing with the fabric, but I just want to cover a good part of it to give it like a modern type look. So once you figure out where you want to go with your design, you could just glue it down. The thing that I would do different is I would not use the hot glue because you can see every strip of hot glue that I use like from underneath it because it's too thick. I would use a brush on type glue. But other than the glue, I love the way it turned out. You're just going to want to try to cover as much to have it sticking down, especially towards the edges, because you don't want it like any gaping spaces or like bubbles in it and stuff like that. But you just play around with it and then tuck it over and glue it down on the back too. If you wanted to make a different type version of this clock and you couldn't find the little clock piece and stuff that I have, IKEA has clock parts starting at $2. Not clock parts, they have a whole clock. They have a whole clock starting at $2. But you can see with mine, I just played around with the pieces, trying to get them to look like they go together and give it like that, that modern type abstract look. And I think it turned out really cute at the end. Like I said, the only thing that I would change is I would use some kind of brush on glue, not the hot glue. So once you get done getting it together, getting it to look how you want it to look, you're just going to put your clock part on. For this one, you just put the back piece through and then you put the one hand on, and it was like a little like screw piece. I forgot what that piece is called. Oh my goodness. And then you put the other hand on, snap it in, and then you're all done. All right, now for the next project. For this project, you could use it in several different ways. I'm going to use this one as a jewelry holder slash sunglass holder, but you can use it in different ways. And again, I'm going to be using the Dollar Tree leather and some other Dollar Tree products. So I'm using a Dollar Tree signboard. I'm laughing at Dolly. She is so nosy. But I'm using a Dollar Tree signboard and I'm just trying to measure it out the size of the dowels that I'm going to be using. And I'm using the saw too from the Dollar Tree. You can get signs from Dollar Tree all year round for different things. This one is an old one though. Once you have your board cut down and all cleaned up on the edges to the size that you want, then you're just going to basically cover the top part with the faux leather. I used a scrap piece from the other ones that I did, and I didn't glue the whole bottom, just the top part. Okay, so once you're done gluing down that, then you just come in with the dowel pieces. I didn't cut them in any kind of way. I just left them the way they were. I did think about doing like a little fancy design on the back and stuff like that, but I said it doesn't need to be that complicated to hold necklaces. So really, I just made kind of a pyramid with it. And as I'm thinking about my explanation right now, it wasn't a pyramid. It was like a tent kind of TP thing, but you just glue it at the top. So you just like all three pieces kind of lay in each other and you glue those together and then glue it at the bottom. And then I came back at the top and put another piece to make it a little stronger and some pieces on the back. So that's basically it for that. Once you glue the back pieces on, and then you just let it dry real good, and it looks so cute with the jewelry and stuff on it, and that's it. So if you like, please give it a big old thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe so you can follow along, because like I said, we're going to be doing so many fun things here, and I will see you in the next video.